In this video, I'm going to show you how I made these two cute little mop head angels. So if you want to learn how to make them, well, then follow me. What's up, Glue Dots? I'm Elaine, the Midnight Crafter, and tonight I have a vintage craft for you. Some of you may remember doing these when you were kids, and I would love if you still have pictures, or if you have one, if you would share it with us on the Facebook group, Midnight Crafter Glue Dots. I had a request from one of my lovely Glue Dots to create a mop head angel. So I didn't know how to do that. I started doing a little research, and I ran across a really sweet, adorable young man doing a video of this, and I have to say I enjoyed the heck out of it. He was so fun and so comical because he was really having a hard time doing it and begging for someone to please make another video. So his name is John Zaprawa. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. And John, I'm doing it. I took it on and I'm taking over for you and making these adorable little mop head angels. So I'm going to give you two versions. One is the regular version and the other one is the Dollar Tree version, so we can make it even more economical, though it's already a very economical project as is. Before we get to that project though, I would really love it if you join our Glue Dot family by hitting the subscribe button down below. And when you hit the bell next to it, it will inform you when I upload new videos. Also, if you're enjoying my channel, give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment and let me know. I'm kind of on a bit of an angel kick lately, so my last few videos, or several of my videos, have been angels, but I also know that there are several of you that collect them, so I hope you will enjoy this. Before we go though, do go down to that description box because there's a lot of information down there that sometimes you will ask me, but I've already put it down there. And also there's a link for you to enter to win a very cute bling owl keychain. And I do that drawing once a month on the first of the month when I also do a live chat. So I think that's everything you need to know. And I can't wait to get to this project and show you because you're gonna love it. So let's do it. First thing we're going to do, obviously take the mop out of the package and see what side is what. Now when I picked this mop, I specifically looked, this is the one that I bought, and I got it at Home Depot, and I specifically bought this one that's open-ended. Some of them are attached at the bottom. You want to make sure that they're open-ended and just loose like this. It's kind of coming apart here. So first off, I'm just going to really quick glue that down. You may not have to do that because yours may not be coming apart. So hopefully you won't have to do that. But what I want to do is, because the weight of the mop is going to be hanging, I don't want it to hang it from this end, which is kind of the open end. All I've done so far, aside from take this out of the package, is remove the label off of it. It was a big white label that was sitting right here, and I took that off. So what we're going to be doing, I'm going to make this my back side because it has the part that I just glued. And that's the side that's going to be getting covered up. So the first thing we're going to do is take two of our strands from the very, very top, and we're going to be making a loop. So crisscross them and bring them back around. Figure out how big a loop, because this is the loop you'll be using to hang your angel from. And then what we're going to do is just put a line of glue down the center here and glue those two pieces into place so we have something to hang our angel from. Glue those all the way down. So once you get those two strands glued into place, we're going to take two more strands from each side from the top, and we're going to do the same thing without the loop though, and glue those down so we can cover this part here. This is going to be the back side of our angel, and we don't want this to show. So it should look like that, a nice clean finished side. Now this again is the back, and we have our loops. And then we're going to flip over to the other side here. So spread the angel apart here like this. Of course, these are the pieces we just glued down, so those are going to be hanging down in the center. Then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take 3 sets of 4 strands. So there's 4 and another 4 and another 4. So we're going to have 12 strands in all. and we're gonna braid these, and these are going to become our angel's arms. So do a fairly firm braid and go all the way down. And when I say firm, I just mean like a tight braid. I don't know how a firm braid would be, but anyway, not a loose one, a kind of a nice tight braid. And take it down as far as you can go. Too. I'm just going to put a little hot glue temporarily just to kind of hold it. It doesn't really unravel, but just giving it a little extra here so that I can have my hands free. Now you can use, at this point, you can either use your red ribbon or some twine, depending. I'm going to just use some twine because I can add the ribbon in later if I want to. And basically this is just going to be, for the most part, will be hidden. It's just going to be to keep her hands tied so they don't come apart, come unbraided. Tie a nice tight knot in there. And we're going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. Once you've got both her arms made, you're going to go ahead and trim to make sure that these ends are even. She looks like she's flipping somebody off right now, so we have to take care of that. What kind of angel would that be? Now we're going to work on attaching the head, and all I did was took one of the clear ball ornaments that you saw in the picture of items needed and spray painted it white. And you're going to find the part that has the nicest smoothest paint on it, so that will be facing forward so that you can use that for her face. I'm going to take the cap off of this actually, and I'm going to be using the bottom part of one of the picks that I'm going to use. And normally we cut this off anyway, so I am going to cut that off. I probably should get my wire cutters for that so I don't destroy my scissors. And I'm going to use this piece and glue it inside here to use it as a support part to glue on here, so it's not just glued by that little top neck part. So I'm going to go ahead and put a good amount of glue on my little piece of stick here and put it inside of the ball ornament. And I'm putting it as far as it'll go, so it should be long enough. And we're going to have a piece like this, so it gives us just that extra little bit to be able to use as a neck. And put some extra glue in there to support that, make sure it doesn't come out. And then we're going to be gluing that into place here, just like that. So we're going to go ahead and put our glue, a good amount of glue here, and get that head glued into place. I'm putting extra glue on top of it just to hold it. And it's going to take a little bit of time for that to dry, but while we're waiting on that, what we're actually going to do is use that to put the hands in place. So the hands, you're going to put them up, facing up like this, and then stick them right to that glue, that extra glue that you have sitting there for the neck. As soon as all of that stuff solidifies a little bit, because we did have a lot of glue there, we do want to give it a chance to cool off so we don't have things falling apart on us. We're then going to kind of work on attaching some hair to her. And for the hair, we're going to be using the Spanish moss. You can do whatever color hair you'd like. If she's a punk rock angel, you can use the green moss. I am using the Spanish moss because I think it'll look really cute. You're going to take a pretty good amount of it because you're going to need to cover that ball pretty well. So kind of get this shaped a little bit, almost like a nest. Sort of figure out how much you want to put on her and play with it and shape it to sort of even it out a bit so there's not any holes. You can go in and fill any holes in afterwards, but you could try and pretty much get it situated before you get it on there. And what we're going to be doing next is figuring out where you want to place the hair. And we're going to put a bunch of hot glue on her head. Torture. Why do I always torture my poor little angels like this? These poor little things. It's like tar and feathering, but we're hot gluing and mossing. And then go ahead and press down. Add more glue as necessary wherever you need. I need a little more over here on the sides. And then check all around. She's got some bed head going on over here, so I'm gonna just adjust a little bit. You can kind of lift up and throw some more glue in there and then press the moss down onto it. Whatever you need to do to adjust the hair to look like you want. So I'm gonna keep working on her hair a bit. I'm gonna probably, oops, you know what? I lost her loop, her hanging loop. So I think I might have to poke that through her hair. I was about to glue it down, but we're gonna have to pull that loop up through there and then glue the hair around. Okay, almost forgot about that. That would have been bad. Can you tell I'm a hairdresser? I wouldn't have very many clients if their hair came out looking ratty like this. All right, now some of the fun part that I always love, this is always the fun part. Now, if you'd like to, you can bring some of the strings forward to cover this area. You don't necessarily have to do that because if you have your picks in place, they're going to be covering most of that. So go ahead and take whatever picks you have, as big of pieces as you'd like or as small of pieces as you'd like, and start gluing those into place. And if you want to add some, as I say on my other angels, add anything else into it, some bells, some charms, some words, whatever you want to add to it, you can go ahead and do that. Make sure though, before you do any of that stuff, that you hit that thumbs up button and leave me a comment down below letting me know what you think of these angels. I know this is such an old time vintage craft, and I thought it would be kind of fun to bring it back. Now I've kind of placed these and I'm sort of placing them and gluing them. I haven't. The one I tucked under her arm, the other one I've done over her arm. Kind of play with it as you go along and see what looks good to you. So now that we've kind of got that done, ribbon glued on, you can make her a halo if you would like to. I'm going to use a pipe cleaner. I'm just using a plain white pipe cleaner, but you may want to use one of the gold ones or a silver one, depending on what your colors are, what your theme is. Or if you have something else that's already kind of ring shaped, you can use that. I'm just going to wrap my pipe cleaner around 2 times, and if you want to put some glitter on it, that would be really cute too. Whatever ideas you can come up with. I know you guys are so incredibly creative out there because you always give me great ideas. And then I'm going to go ahead and just glue that onto her head, kind of sticking up a little bit at an angle. I think that will look really cute. And then that way from the front, it won't just be laying flat like a headband. It'll be sticking upright a little bit like a halo. Did you guys hit the thumbs up button yet? Working hard for you here. Okay, the last thing we're going to be doing is making some wings for her. So I'm going to put her aside for the moment so we have a little bit of space. And what I'm going to be using for the wings is this burlap ribbon, so I can go for a little bit more of a farmhouse decor angel on this one. You can definitely glam it up by using some really fancy sparkly ribbon. And you can also make her wings as big or as small as you want them to be. So I'm going to do 2 sets like this just by simply taking this piece and folding it over on both sides, and then I'm going to hot glue that. And I'm going to do that one more time so we can have a little bit wider set of wings on her. So what I'm going to do to attach these 2 pieces together now is take another piece of my twine. Give yourself a nice long piece to work with just so you're not struggling. And put the 2 wings together, or the 2 pieces I should say, together. And you're going to give them a good snug knot in there, and then you can adjust them afterwards. And go ahead and add the hot glue onto the wings and lay the angel down on it so that way you can see from the front where you're positioning. All right, I'm going to make a Dollar Tree version of this to show you as well, and then I'm going to show you this all ready and displayed beautifully. You ready? So what I've done is unscrewed the handle off this Dollar Tree mop, and I did go ahead and take 2 strands times 3, so 6 strands on each side, 2, 2, and 2, and made the braids. Now this piece up here does not remove, so here's where it's going to be a little different for us. And obviously this is a much shorter mop and it's quite different. It doesn't have that center, so we just modify a little bit. So there's a couple of options here. This piece is very long, so what you can do if you would like is take a wide piece of ribbon like this and go ahead and cut, and you're going to be tying a big bow around. Now this is really wide, so I'm going to actually cut this ribbon in half right along that center line of this This is the Dollar Tree burlap ribbon with lace. I'm actually going to glue my two pieces together. So I'm going to go with wrapping this with the ribbon as opposed to cutting it. I don't know how easy it will be to cut. I was thinking you could take one of the little saws from the Dollar Tree, or if you have a regular saw, you can just cut off, I would say about half of that, halfway down. So I'm going to go ahead and tie it with the ribbon and camouflage that she's going to have a really long neck. So I'm going to put some hot glue to hold this ribbon in place around the neck, and then go ahead and tie it into a bow. By the way, if you haven't seen my trick for tying bows, so you have the one end that's up high and the one that's down low. So you, whatever hand you, however you tie, I'm right-handed, so I'm making my right loop first. This is already up high, so instead of bringing it around the bottom, you're going to bring it around the top to tie your bow. That way you end up, instead of your bow being completely lopsided, which happens to us so many times, this way we get a nice even bow and it doesn't sit sideways. So now that the bow is tied, I'm going to put her hands up in place here, and then I'm going to be attaching the pick. So I have the embellishments on, I have that on, and now we're going to attach the head. So we're going to pull again this piece off. And unfortunately, this does not fit completely down into the hole here from the mop stick. It fits kind of in there, but not all the way down, but pretty good. So what we're gonna do is put some glue on the inside here of the hole, kind of more up towards the top if you can, because the ornament doesn't reach all the way down. And then make sure again you have the good side of your ornament facing forward, and then press that ornament into the hole. We're going to do the same thing we did with the hair by taking some of our Spanish moss. So I went ahead, I put her hair on, I've got her halo on, and the last thing we're going to do is create a hook to hang her from. Now, because this is a less dense mop than the other ones, we're just going to use one of the strands from behind, take it and create a loop, and then just glue it to itself. There we go. So we're just going to do it just like that. I'll show you them side by side and you can see what you think.